reasons that keep Julius Malema remain unshakable after everything that just happened. We are talking about the three reasons that keep Julius Malema unshakable against everyone after everything that just took place in the EFF. So we're going to talk about it. Guys, have you come across a situation whereby you found being betrayed by your loved ones, for an example? Have you perhaps come across a situation whereby you find like if like the whole entire heaven is about to collapse on you? Have you come across a situation whereby you end up realizing that to the left and right, there's nothing much you can try to lay your hands on because the things or people whom you expected to be more close to you, they're the one who have just betrayed you? Well, imagine with this question I just raised up to your mind, imagine now in the world of politics how painful it can be. Whether we like it or not, what Julius Malema with the EFF just experienced recently, it is the most hardest moment in politics. Remember, politics comes with power, politics comes with strategies. So in the world of politics, once someone intends to eliminate you in politics, well, they usually only have two purposes. Either to eliminate you physically and dismiss you by unliving you, or to eliminate you politically and you become useless. I can give you many examples of leaders around the world without even mentioning some of them which you are more familiar with. For an example, the former president of South Africa, President Jacob Zuma. He was one of the people whom the ANC members wanted to dismiss. They want to kill his political careers. But since the old man was not ready to give up in with his political careers, he tried to use some strategies that end up resurrecting him from the death where they had put him. Today, Jacob Zuma, he ran one of the most successful political party in South Africa, and he even become a dark, I mean, a, a, he even become a dark side of what the ANC they were not expecting to see. That is how politics works. And what Julius Malema did experience, he was left only with two ways in order for him to survive, whether surviving under the ground in the grave or whether he have to survive physically but not politically. So, seeing people who left Julius Malema, people that he used to drink with, people that he used to laugh with, people that you will stand and leave them with his glass of drink so that they can look after it, people that he had even engaged with his family, telling his family that no, in case if something happened to me, you guys should know where to go, you should know who to talk to. Now, one day, waking up in a certain morning and finding out that these people that are no longer next to you, that was a shock that could destroy one person. That was a shock which can even bring a serious conflict between the individuals who are being involved in all these matters. But how did Julius Malema manage to survive so far? And you guys, in order for you to understand that this was a very big shock, which the man Julius Malema could not even be able to handle it on his own. You guys, you can even tell his health, how he have lost weight in such a short period of time. If we have to look around some of couple of footage which Julius Malema was taken within the 6 past months, you will see that he have lost a lot of weight compared to the Julius Malema that we all know. Yes, you will tell me that he was in the process of losing weight for some times now, but that was not going easy for him until when he have to experience this shock of the individuals who have to leave the EFF political party. So this was something which was very painful for him. And he had now to fight either to survive politically or either to accept for him to be buried. Now, when all these things started, it started like a joke. It started like a comedy. No one sees it coming. No one had no idea that someday all these individuals that we used to see in the EFF, they will be waking up on the other side of the EFF. What about on the side of the MK political party? Of course, no one sees also that the EFF will become their main target, because the whole process, the way it started, it was all about President Jacob Zuma attacking the ANC of President Cyril Ramaphosa, saying that this is a fake ANC. And when all this was happening, there were no any sign of showing that soon or later the MK, in order for them to grow up their political party, or in order for them to go ahead and fight the so-called ANC with the Cyril Ramaphosa, they will need to go and dish up in the EFF. No one sees that coming. Why? Because we could even see the kind of relationship which Julius Malema used to have with the former president Jacob Zuma. They'll be having this kind of conversation through their interviews. They're having that kind of mutual respect of one another. But unfortunately, that kind of relationship could not last for that long, for the simple reasons which I have demonstrated again in one of our previous videos, which I said that the MK, obviously, after it being created, it need people. And in order to get out people, there's no way that they'll go and find new members from nowhere. Because each and every South African citizen, they have their own political party which they favored in, and which they feel like they can vote for. So the MK is something which was being created on top of all these individuals, as they are from different political parties. So now, Jacob Zuma with the MK, their strategy now, it was all about them trying to understand exactly what can we do in order for us to grow up these organizations, in order for us to make it even become more bigger. Where can we go? The ANC, they are down already. People, they have lost trust in the ANC. DA, we can't even mention, because them, the people never even loved them before. So the only political party which seemed to be having kind of like activities and vibes and everything, that would be the EFF. And the EFF, they're supposed to be in power a long time ago, but so far they are having a problem through their voters who are supposed to be voting for them. They're still judging them over the border policy and so on and so on. Now, what can we do? This is where we need to go in. And them going in, they want to target the big headers of the EFF, because they know that once they have them, they'll be able to dish up even more people within the EFF. And that is how they start doing all those things, like starting with Floyd Shivambu, Boda Limpopo, Bosisiwe Mkweba, and many individuals. Because keep in mind that every individuals that they are mentioning so far, or who have left the EFF, they are those ones which we know that they big fish in the water, right? In the EFF. They used to, of course. But we have not come across the normal individuals, or people of South Africa who used to vote or believe in the EFF, and they had to leave the EFF in order for them to go and join the MK party. Now, when they did all these things, it was all mission success for them. They succeed with everything. But here comes the problem started. The moment when those who have left the EFF, they went on the other side, and they start throwing stone on the EFF in order for them to make their new political party be like the one which deserve to get South African votes, and not the EFF. That moment, it is what end up now resurrect the anger of Julius Malema, since he's been struggling to see on how he can survive with his political party that he had fought for so many years. When these people left the EFF, it was, I see Julius Malema personally, if like someone who was just busy mourning through the betrayal that he had to experience from his closest friends that he used to trust the most. But the moment when those people went on the other side, they continued trying to campaign for more people to leave the EFF to join the other political party, and they continue to throw stone on the EFF. That is when now Julius Malema is like, okay, now it is about time. I need to stand up and come forward to defend something that we have put in place and fought for all these years. Now, when all these things was happening, we should keep in mind that the EFF, they were already planning to organize their third People National Assembly. This is where they get to vote the new leadership of the EFF, and this is where we get to see the organizations can how organizations they can run it or not. And in the history of South Africa, this kind of event, we know that it comes with a lot of things. It comes with a lot of separations, divisions among members. We can tell some of them they can even fight over that, and this kind of event it can be cancelled at certain point. So now, with all these things that has been happening in the EFF, of course, people they were shocked, and at the same time, there were people who were waiting to see what will happen next, and some people they were even waiting to see that okay, this is the good moment. The EFF be is going to disappear now for good because they are going there without having a better understanding of one another, because obviously Floyd Shivambo had his own people who believe in him. This one, Mpofu or Bosisiwa, whoever they left, these people, they have also their own supporters who was among them. And even those who pretend to remain in the EFF, they were those ones now, they were kind of like fighting over the leadership. So this uh, National People Assembly, it was actually something which many people they were waiting for the EFF to go to divide it itself, so that some they will applaud, some they will take this as an opportunity to recruit even more members to join other political parties. But here's the secret, or I should say, the secret number one that Julius Malema apply in order for him to survive with the EFF. The first things, few weeks, I'm talking about 2 to 3 weeks before this People Assembly, we saw Julius Malema send the high rank officers of the EFF through different provinces, which was including himself as well, to go and try to send a strong message to everyone out there on how this assembly is being prepared. And he had to go and try to talk to everyone who's supposed to be participating in this assembly, so that they should know what to expect and what the leadership of the EFF should expect from them as well. And he went through different provinces. Through his speech, he had to remind people of how far they have come of this organization, what they've been through, and what are them gonna do in the future if they manage to go through all these things. He tried to remind fighters of the EFF on how they should be disciplined to this event, because many people, many doomsayers that are out there, they are looking forward to see the division of the EFF. So as he was going through all this, he could not also keep quiet, because he know very well that they are at war to survive or rescue the organizations which they had fought for. And that is how he ended up declaring the MK party as their enemy. Why? Because he ended up revealing the truth that no, the MK party, they were not here to fight the ANC with Cyril Ramaphosa as they claim at first, but they are here actually to destroy the EFF in exchange for the MK party. We saw how Julius Malema, who had to go and reveal a couple of secrets, saying on how former President Jacob Zuma had organized a couple of meetings with a different opposition political party, which was involving the EFF with its leadership, in order for them to drop down and endorse the MK party with Jacob Zuma as their leader. Julius Malema, after making all these revelations, he ended up realizing that no, actually, the main target here for the MK party, it is not even the ANC or the DA, but it is the EFF. But for what reasons? Because the reasons which the Jacob Zuma with his political party they are raising up, it is something which, if we have to apply it, obviously, it was going to be applied on the EFF, as Julius Malema also had tried to give different explanations or examples on how good the EFF they have improved so far, whether it is in South Africa or outside of South Africa. So since the message the MK they are giving is to say that no, MK party is the only political party that can unite black people, well, why not the EFF? Because so far the EFF they have not sitting the same table with the white uh, people who have betrayed black people. The EFF they have not covered in what any things like that. So why this does not have to do with the EFF but only the MK party? So Julius Malema, who had to come and make this kind of um, declarations, trying to waken up everyone that no, you should not fall on the trap of the MK part of Jacob Zuma, because this is just an excuse they're giving. But the main reason here, they want to make the EFF disappear. That strategy, it was one of the reasons why Julius Malema have to survive or remain unshakable against everyone. Because if he did not organize or prepare these fighters of the EFF before they go to this event, guys, we don't know what will have happened. A lot of things was going to happen there. But he have to come and try to mobilize them himself and passing this message to them that no, yes, we are going to elect the new leadership. Whether it's going to be me, whether it's going to be someone else, there's no problem. But the main problem here, we should remain focused that this is the only political party we have, and we should fight for it, since many people are looking forward to destroy it. That one, it is a strategy which demands one person to be smart, and Julius Malema have demonstrated that. Now, we move forward. Here comes the time they go to this uh, National People Assembly. When they get at Nasarek, again, there were a lot which was being said already. And we saw a couple of local medias which was well paid in order for them to sabotage this event, in order for them to report any small drama or scandal that will take place. Anything, they were just so ready for them to publish it through their newspapers, through their news channel. They were just so ready for that. Now, what happened? We saw a Julius Malema who had to put everything together with the EFF, of course, in order for all these journalists and medias to be well accommodated. Yes, they were all accommodated. They ate, they drank, they did their job properly in a very good conditions. They did not give them any, not even a small mistake or reasons for them to have something to report. Why were they doing that? Because Julius Malema of the EFF, they were aware already that these people they are looking for something to report. Proof to that, just because these people they went around, they try to see anything bad they can report against this event. They fail. There were a moment whereby they start asking Julius Malema certain kind of questions. You could just see that these questions, they're not normal questions. These are questions which are well planned. That okay, when Julius Malema organize a media briefing, you guys should ask him this kind of questions. Even though Julius Malema tried to avoid some of these questions, but most of them they were always coming back. So now here Julius Malema was left with only one choice: either to respond back to these questions, either to let go of these people, have a topic that they can go and talk about. The first question was, for an example, when they were asking about Julius Malema foreign policies, We saw how Julius Malema, through the press conference, he tried to ignore these questions. But when it comes for the second time, Julius Malema was like, no, I've been ignoring it because I know your question, it has nothing to do with foreign policies. Your question, it has something to do with border policies. And we all know what is the policy of the EFF when it comes to one Africa and borderless Africa. So Julius Malema had to come back on that question and try to hit up some hammers there and remind these journalists of things which they're supposed to be reporting, but they failed to do so. And he even went have to go far by telling these journalists that the EFF or Julius Malema, they never come with borders in Africa or anything like that. These are the things which they found already there. So that answer, even though it was covered, you could see how the journalists who had asked these questions, they were so embarrassed because they did not get what they were looking for. The second part is when Julius Malema was asked a question about Dr. Ndlozi. When they asked him that question, that was another trap question because they want to see what he have to say. Everyone, they want to know what's going to happen because now we said Ndlozi was not part of this assembly, and this is where the new leadership is being elected. What to become Hussein Ndlozi? So Julius Malema, even though he found it so hard for him to talk about it, but he was forced or obliged for him to come and discuss about it again. And he gave the answer that he gave. And until then, he refused to not ever talk about Hussein Ndlozi again. Those kind of questions were a trap to him, and he managed to give back the answer accordingly to the way these people, they wanted to hear from him. And that was a very good reasons that can also keep a person to remain unshakable politically. Now, here's the third part, and which I found very interesting one. After Julius Malema is being re-elected as the new leader of the EFF with the new leadership, on the closing speech of Julius Malema, he spoke. And through that speech, Julius Malema sent a very strong message to everyone who've been wanting to destroy the EFF. And through that message, Julius Malema was very clear that regardless of what you guys you are planning against me, regardless of what you guys you are up to in order for you to destroy these organizations, well, this movement does not belong to anyone. This movement, it is way stronger than all of us. No one is better than the EFF. That word, it is a very powerful word. That word is a word which can remind each and every EFF members, especially those ones who believe that no, they are above the EFF, or maybe because they are more famous in the EFF and they feel like they can do whatsoever they feel like doing. Actually, that word, it was a killer word. That was a very strong message which Julius Malema was trying to send to everyone out there who want to destroy the EFF. Like, no, guys, you can do whatever you want to do. You can dish up whoever you want to take away from the EFF. But the EFF, it is the movement of black people. And all of us will pass, but the EFF will remain. And that is even the reason why himself, he have chosen the EFF as the only organizations he see himself dying in as a politician. Julius Malema even passed a message saying that he will be buried with the flag of EFF on his coffin. You know what does that mean in the world of politics? That means that This is a man who's no more afraid of whatsoever is going to come, because he strongly believes that there is no way you will leave the EFF for another political party or for another movement. That is a man who's trying to say that even if everyone leave and I remain alone in the EFF, I don't care. As long as I'm in the EFF, I'm good. That message is one of the big reasons why Julius Malema remained unshakable. You know, I came across uh, a TikTok video, someone trying to compare Julius Malema um, to this other song that's been trending on TikTok, something like a Kasongo, yeah, Kasongo, what, Kasongo, what. So when I tried to make a little bit research about what does that song mean and who's this Kasongo guy, well, he's being compared Kasongo. They see him as one of the courageous men in the world who does not fear anyone in any situations. When you thought you have got him, when you can tell that no, I put him down on his knee, but just because this Kasongo guy is very stubborn and very courage one, you will always find a way out. And that is how Julius Malema was described. That this situation you went through, because whether we like it or not, the situation this that Julius Malema went through, if it was another political party, guys, this time we're talking about something else. If it was about any other leader out there, I don't know what would have happened. So seeing the men still coming out, talking and sounding convincing, he managed to put all the fighters of the EFF together. He give them the moral and they're still listening to him. Baba, like it or not, that's what they call leadership. And I know when we talk about this kind of things, some of people out there will be giving us colors, saying that maybe we are EFF members or whatsoever. No, I don't care. The truth is the truth, and I have to speak the truth no matter what. And also, talking about the EFF does not make us become members of the EFF. We're talking about the EFF as much we can talk about MK party or ANC or any other political party, especially if it's something just to do with Black Africans. That's what counts the most for some of us. So if you sit on your own and just because maybe you have some hatred against the EFF or maybe the man Julius Malema, then you want all of us to come and start sounding like a um, to start sound like you, then that's your business. That's your problem. Me personally, I don't care. Julius Malema is a revolutionary. Like him or not, is a revolutionary, and the world have known him for that. We are talking about the man who make his presence or his word be heard by the Western. How many of leaders in South Africa can you tell me that if they speak now, the West can hear them? Whether it's Trump or Joe Biden or France with Emmanuel Macron, they can hear that this person has said. How many of them can you mention them? Gaten McKenzie or Jacob Zuma. Jacob Zuma is well known as the former president of South Africa, not as a leader who can say something now and the West will be shaken. But Julius Malema did that. Like him or not, the men have done that. Mm. The men who can send a loud, strong message to the Queen Elizabeth, Queen of England, calling her by a name, reminding her that she should come back and give back the diamond and gold that she stole in Africa soil. How many leaders do we have, not only in South Africa, but in Africa, who have that kind of courage to challenge such kind of world leaders? But Julius Malema have done that. Whether it is Macron or Biden, wherever they are sitting, they know him very well. That no, in Africa, in South Africa, there is a man called Julius Malema, and this is how he sees us. They know him for that. So now you are telling us that we should not talk or support a revolutionary, a Pan-Africans who have a vision for Africa continent just because you believe that you belong to a certain political party which is in conflict with the man called Julius Malema. That's a very small kind of thinking, which some of us, we don't have time. Because in order for Africa, with Africans to be liberated, to be free economically and whatsoever, they have to be a revolutionary. This is how nature have put everything together. In Cuba, they need their leader, Fidel Castro, in order for them to liberate themselves. In Ghana, they need Kwame Nkrumah in order for Ghana to be the first African country to have their first independence. In DR Congo, they need Patrice Lumumba in order for them to liberate them. In South Africa, we need Nelson Mandela in order for us to have the freedom. So each and every freedom comes with its revolutionary leader. And if Julius Malema is showing all those kind of signs, such as Ibrahim Traore from Burkina Faso and main Pan-African around Africa continent, you're expecting us to keep quiet and not talk about them? We're expecting us to just look like that because you are having some conflict with them? No, that's it is your own way of thinking, as we don't see it that way. Okay, it's just that so far we don't want even to get to want to meddling in whatsoever has been happening between MK, ANC, EFF, and what. They will want to sit down and try to talk about this. Guys, I believe most of you will even be shocked. So, like the man or not, is a politicians who have a strategies that keep him to survive for all this long. There's a lot of enemies who want not only to destroy the EFF, but they even want to take him down because they know that the EFF without Julius Malema, it would be useless for them. But him also clever enough as he is, what he's been doing is also to try to train even more fighters of the EFF, preparing them and implementing the small knowledge he have within them. Guys, you know, these things of politics, it's just very complicating for you to understand. Yeah. And if you have to mind how things works in the world of politics, trust me, you can even go crazy. So the truth is that Julius Malema remained the same man. And as I have told you guys before, that sooner or later, I'm still going to come back because I believe he have been just through a lot. But what happened recently, it was just a bomb for him. But now that he's coming out, now that he's putting everything together, well, we should expect for something good to come. As for other side of the MK with Jacob Zuma, for me, I don't want to comment much. Let us wait for 2026 as we'll be having elections. Through that elections, then we will tell the true future of the MK party. For now, let's just leave it the way things they are looking at, and the future will tell whether those who have left the EFF and went and joined the MK party, if they have made a good choice or not, and those who remain the EFF, if they have also made a good choice or not. So it's just a matter of time for everything to be exposed out there. Thank you so much, guys, for your time. Please give us your thumbs up, like this video in your numbers. We really do appreciate that. Um, we are looking forward to see you again in our next videos. But before that, feel free to give us your comment in the comment section. Tell us also what you think about what we just discussed with you in this video, because it is very important that we have this kind of conversation with you. So feel free to drop us your comment in the comment section. We'll have a look on that. Until I see you again, for now, continue to be yourself. Be good, be kind, have respect for everyone in order for you to be respected. May God bless you all. I'll see you again very soon in our next video. Ciao, ciao.